So today we're going to be speaking about 15 different ways to improve your conversion rate on your store. The first thing before I dive into that is to say that if you aren't using Shopify, I do highly recommend that you use Shopify. Why? Because it is the holy grail for e-commerce for several reasons. So the data analytics is the best on Shopify. You can really understand what is your conversion rate just directly on the screen. You also have customer information is very good within Shopify, although I do also recommend that you do get a CRM system outside of Shopify. The third reason is because of the apps. So the integration that the apps provide with Shopify are really important in order to improve your conversion rate. And I'm actually going to be speaking about some of those today. So let's dive into the 15 different ways to improve your conversion rate on your Shopify store. The first and foremost is testimonials. So this is coming from your customers. If you're just starting out and you only have a few, put as many as you have up there. But really, we're looking for as high of a number as we can get. If you can get in the hundreds, if you can get in the thousands, even better. The higher the number, the better. And of course, we're looking for 5-star reviews, but absolutely they need to be 100% honest. If you have customer testimonials that are photos, videos as well, but photos, that's great as well. Some apps that are great for Shopify testimonials with photos are, one of them is Loox, Loox. For other testimonials that aren't photos, then you can use judge.me. That's also a Shopify app. So the second thing, which is really important, is copywriting. Copywriting is extremely important because that is what's going to convince people whether to move forward or not. And you have to think about your website like a funnel. So people first land onto your home page, then you want to take them to your catalog page to view the other products that you have. Then you want them to go onto your product page. After that, they go onto the cart page and they finally check out and purchase. So each of these pages, you need to make sure that the copy that you're writing on these pages are convincing people to take that next step each time. So this does take a bit, and we can't talk about it in just this one video, but essentially it is extremely important. Just think about your brand. So it all starts with knowing who your customer is. Once you know who your customer is, you can find what the pain point is and what your product is solving for that pain point. So that's how you can start to hone in on the biggest benefits that your product provides to your specific target market. Not everybody, but specific target market. You want to be writing your copy as if you're writing it for one person. So that's going to help you a lot when you're writing your copy. Think about what's in it for me. That's the phrase that you should be thinking about from your customer's perspective. So never write, our products do this. Always basically think about from the customer's perspective, what's in it for them. So just straight out say, you will achieve this, or reduces da 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 da. So that's how the best way to write it. That's just a little tidbit on copywriting. There's a lot more that has to do with copywriting, but we're going to move on to the third one. The third one is professional photos. Professional photos are very important because you want to inspire. That's the point of your store. And if you think about it, brick and mortar, you have in brick and mortar stores, you have decorations that inspire people to stay in the store and enjoy their experience while they're shopping. It's the same thing on your website. So you want the layout to look good, and therefore the photos should not be blurry, and they should be professional photos because they should inspire people to want to buy this product. And that's why professional photos are important. Now the photos, they can be product shots, so just pure product with a white background or a color background, or they can also be lifestyle. And in fact, you should be using a variety of both. So lifestyle photos are going to be basically somebody who's holding and using the product so that you can actually show how the product is being used. So the next one is how-to videos. So this is number 4. How-to videos are also very important, especially if you have a product that needs a little bit more education and you need to provide some more information as to how to use the product. So how-to videos are always great to put onto your shop's store. So actually, specifically on the product pages is where the how-to videos should be. Now, the one caveat to this is to make sure that this doesn't actually slow down your page speed, and that's going to be another one that we talk about. So another point of your conversion rate, how to improve your conversion rate on your store, is to make sure that your page speed is fast enough. And in fact, Google has if you just search for Google page speed, then you can put in your website and you can see how fast your website is both on your mobile and your desktop. Remember that. And that brings us into the next one, which is making sure that your mobile website, it's optimized for mobile. How do you do that? Well, you can certainly, you can actually look up the screen sizes on your desktop, or pick up your phone and type in your website address and go through all of the pages. So I actually recommend the latter, because you should definitely be making sure that using an actual phone is going to provide your website the way that you want it to be. Go through every single page, go through every single step, go through to the checkout, even to purchase, because you want to make sure that every step looks good on your mobile for your store. So the next one is publication. So you want to always make sure that you are providing a sense of authority, that you know the subject, that you are actually recognized, that your products are getting recognized. If you're just starting out, potentially you won't have publications just yet, but if you can, down the line, absolutely pay attention to ways that you can get publications, and then you can put that on your store. And this is going to provide the authority that you need, and also the trust factor that people will have to see that your products have actually been listed in some major publications. The next thing is, when you're looking at the cart page, you want to make sure that you have some security symbols and that all major credit cards are accepted, as well as PayPal and Apple Pay, because again, most people are going to be using their mobile phone. So always, always, always pay attention to how your store looks like on your mobile phone first. In fact, the statistic is about 95% are going to be using their mobile phone to go onto your store for e-commerce. So make sure that everything is basically optimized for mobile. And one of the ways, of course, inside of the checkout is to use Apple Pay. So the next one is upsell apps. So this is another reason why Shopify is very good, is because you can actually add apps such as upsell apps. Now, the way that you do this is you go into Shopify, you get an app, and you essentially think about the products that people are using or need to use that go along with your products. Now, if you're not actually selling these products, it might be a good idea to introduce products that go along with your product. So for example, if you're selling a face wash, potentially you might want to also sell a towel that dries off your face wash, or you might also want to sell a serum that goes along with the face wash. So think about products that people use in the whole routine, if it is skincare, or if it is a different kind of product. So let's say you're selling a dining room table, well, an upsell could be the dining room chairs. So things that either go in parallel or in the whole process, in the step-by-step process that people take in order to use your product. So those are upsell ideas. The next thing is also make sure that inside of each of your product pages, you have at the bottom, you have what others have also bought. So people who have bought this products have also bought this other product alongside it. So make sure that those suggestions are on every single one of your product page, and this will also improve your conversion rate. CTA button. So on each of your product pages, make sure that the CTA button, that's call to action button, is clear, is big enough, is in a bright color so that it's obvious enough for people to click. if you have several things on your product page, you have lots of photos and videos, and you actually write out a lot of different, it's pretty long writing, then you make sure that you have the CTA on several pieces of that, so that as you scroll down, you're not scrolling down for 5 minutes and then have to scroll all the way back up to actually add your product to cart. So make sure that the CTA button is easy to find and is actually in several different places on the page if you actually have a long page. The next thing is that you can actually call out one of your best testimonials on your product page above the title. That's actually a great way to quote essentially a great testimonial that you've received, and call it out right above the title so that it's easy to find. It's the first thing that people see, and it really just hones in on that social proofing even further. And then as they scroll down, they will see the rest of your social proofing. They will see all of your hundreds of different people who have also bought the product and are raving with 5-star reviews, hopefully. And the next thing is 2 more. We have 2 more to finish out the 15. So number 14 is email marketing. Don't forget about email marketing, because this is going to support your efforts that you're doing otherwise. So if you're advertising on Facebook, if you're advertising on Instagram or elsewhere as well, you must make sure that you're actually supporting all of those efforts by using email marketing. In order to use email marketing effectively, you should also have a place inside of, on your home page, for example, a place to actually put in your email for your newsletter. And of course, that means that you should be doing email marketing. So you should actually be reaching out to people with things within the industry that people would find helpful in order to buy your products. But it should really be about information about the industry, so that, again, you get to be the authority. So email marketing in general is very important. So you should be reaching out to your customers at least once per week. But at the very least, you must have an email marketing system in place for abandoned carts. And that's what's really going to help your conversion rate improve. And along the same lines, and number 15, that is messenger marketing. Now, this goes a little bit into Facebook advertising, which we haven't touched upon in this video. However, it basically does touch upon the abandoned cart. And once again, there's a Shopify app. Recart is great for abandoned cart messages through messenger marketing. You can do other messenger marketing in the more traditional way. However, Recart is great for specifically the abandoned cart sequences, and that would be using messenger marketing as well. Well, there are many different ways to use messenger marketing, and that's just one part of Facebook advertising, which we didn't go into detail in this video. But those are basically the 15 different ways that you can start working towards today and implementing onto your Shopify store, and these will definitely improve your conversion rate. Now, just to finish off, I'm going to tell you what the average conversion rate is. The average conversion rate is between 1% to 2%. However, there have been many people who achieve 2 to 3%. That's absolutely likely. So if you implement these, you will fall within the category of 2 to 3% or even higher. We have also seen 3 and as high as 5%. That is if you implement all of these correctly. And of course, there are always more, but these 15 will really get you started to at least be in the category between 2 to 3%. So the average is 1 to 2%. Your goal is 2 to 3% or higher. All right, see you next time.